Hi, everyone. This is Monsef Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. Sorry about the delay. I had some technical issues. And yeah, so very happy to connect with you again live. So thank you for your presence, for sharing with us this space and time, whether you are watching live or on the replay. And also very excited that Jenny Mannion is back on the show. The first call with her, it was the first one on this season on September, and 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 first, like what I want to share is that I really love the energy that she embodies. How to say, I really feel like so much authenticity in what she shares, so much love, and also deep wisdom that she brings about the different subjects that she can, how to say, guide us through and help us to both like see the truth behind or maybe realize our true power, our inner gifts, and at the same time try to heal or bring harmony and balance into our energy field. And yeah, I really love that, and I love the messages that she brings, and very excited that she is back with us today. So and today's call will be about the our inner diagnostic system, which is the chakra system, and she will also guide us on a group process or group energetic exercise, and we will go through its chakra. So that will be very, very powerful. So stay tuned for that. And after that, we will take questions from you. So as always, if you are on Zoom app, you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand. And if you are on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And for those of you who are new to Jenny, she is a best-selling author, speaker, intuitive healer, Akashic record reader, workshop leader, and self-love activator. And yeah, so with that, Jenny, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us today.
I'm so excited to be here, Monsef. It's so easy to talk with you, and your smile just like lights up the room. So thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
excited to speak with you today.
Yeah, very, very happy to have you back with us. So thank you so much. And yeah, so in the beginning, I would love if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your work.
Sure. Yeah. My journey began. I was sick for 7 years, told I'd be in a wheelchair, given all these limits, was in chronic pain, and instead wound up healing myself in 3 weeks of all chronic illness. And that kind of ignited my passion to help other people really find their inner power to do whatever it is they want to do, whether it's to heal their physical body or, since then I've used those same kind of techniques in my mind to manifest the love of my life, to get a publishing deal, to really manifest the life that I probably never would have thought was possible. And I really love to teach people how to tap into that self-love, how to heal past trauma, how to get past limiting thoughts and stories and beliefs that probably didn't even come from them. It came from, some past relationship or trauma that really influenced the way they talk to themselves. So I really believe that we can change our energy, which changes our life in all different ways. Last 17 years, I've just been a constant student. I love to gather more tools so I can help people. I read Akashic records. I've studied shamanism, studied like 10 different types of energy healing. I'm a constant learner and seeker. And yeah, just really, I know that the more I learn, the more I can help myself and the people around me and the world. And that is really my passion, to just have people love themselves and be kinder to themselves so that they can manifest the life that they desire.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I also like believe like healers and teachers also they are on a journey of learning. It's a lifelong journey. It's we never stop learning and growing. And along
Yeah.
the way, we keep sharing also our gifts, which also help us to connect more deeper to our true powers. So thank you so much for sharing that and sharing your gifts with everyone and with us here on the show. And so the subject today is about our inner diagnostic system and chakra system. I would love if you can give us maybe an introduction about that and how do you perceive it?
Yeah, well, I guess when I came upon the chakra system, it was right after I had healed myself physically and kind of opened the door wide to metaphysical and spiritual material, and found out that Eastern medicine is based on chakras and energy. It is Western medicine that is based more on the biology. And the chakra system is really thought of in acupuncture, in yoga, and a lot of the, things throughout ancient history and now, just not commonly thought of in the Western world yet. I have hope, but chakras are throughout our body and throughout our energy around us. There are hundreds, but the ones that I'll talk about today, and the ones that are commonly referenced, are the seven major ones that are in our body, that start at our root and go to the crown of our head. And each one has different colors. They're the color of the rainbow, which makes them really easy to remember. And each one kind of makes sense as you start learning about them. And I think the first book I read on it was Caroline Myss's Anatomy of the Spirit. And I remember just kind of like crying with this like joy almost of like, wow, this makes so much sense. And if only I had known I could tune into my body this way, it really just made sense that this is our inner diagnostic system. Our body doesn't punish us, it really wants to bring us into balance. So by learning about these different chakras, which relate to different parts of our body, we can tune in. So, I will go through the different ones, but, to give you a quick example, if our when my throat hurts, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not speaking my truth with someone, or, maybe I'm not expressing myself creatively. Each one is kind of sending us a signal. So when we understand each one, we can really tune in and be like, okay, that's not feeling in balance. What can I do to bring that into balance? What is my body trying to tell me? We're not taught that in school. We're not taught to kind of ask our bodies, hey, what are you feeling? Why are you out of balance? But it really is helpful in diagnosing yourself, as well as just having that communication with your body before it gets too bad, so that you can bring it back into balance.
Yeah. Beautiful. And I love that you mentioned that our body doesn't punish us, because many times, like when there is an issue, physical issue, maybe the first thing is that we react with fear, and we focus more on like healing that part, with maybe forgetting or not giving enough attention at the same time to the root issue, or balancing also uh, the energy issue that is related to that caused the physical um, discomfort. So yeah, I really love that. And so for you, because you mentioned you had physical issues, how the healing went? Is it like through energy healing, or maybe both, like the normal one and energy?
Yeah, I think the mind is so important, and the energy. I mean, I feel like I healed myself because I changed my mind and I changed the way I was speaking to myself. I actually started listening to myself. And it's very common when we have an ache or pain to go to fear, to go to, even I was a dancer for years. So when my legs were in chronic pain, I was not nice to my legs. I was like, why are you hurting so much? All of these things that are very normal. Physical pain gets your attention, but it's not healing for our bodies. It's important to remember our body's always recreating cells. We're like 99.9% new. Every organ, every cell in 11 months. So where we put our attention, our cells are always being created. It makes sense that that energy that's being created is informed somewhat by our thoughts, which really is the emotion, because our emotion is really what creates that energy. So if I'm concentrating on my legs and saying, ow, my legs, my legs are sick, why can't I walk? Why can't I do this? It's really not giving my body an opportunity to heal, when our body's kind of calling out for some love. It really is saying, hey, I'm not feeling well. And if someone wasn't feeling well, or animal wasn't feeling well, we wouldn't be attacking them. We would be hugging them and sending them love. So it's really switching our mindset to really bringing that love for ourselves. And when I was healing, I would switch my attention to the parts of my body that didn't hurt and give gratitude for them. I would remember the times I was dancing and give gratitude for my legs and the times it showed up for me. It's really interesting one stuff because we expect like our body to just work perfectly all the time. And we're taught, okay, yeah, eat well, drink water, but we're not really taught like, hey, what about giving yourself some gratitude, your body gratitude every day for just showing up, the miraculous systems it runs without saying, okay, brain turn on now. Okay, respiratory system, time for you to wake up. Like every day, our system is miraculous. So when we start giving gratitude for our body, it really works a whole lot better. Just like if we're giving gratitude to a child or giving gratitude to an animal, it's the same thing. It's just we're not taught that. So it's a very simple thing that we can start to do. And our chakras are so useful in knowing which part maybe needs a little more love.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's, how to say, like feeling grateful to our body and taking care of our body needs to be something maybe that happens naturally in our day-to-day life. Because many times, like we start doing that until we feel or we experience some issues. But it's, how to say, it's like it's the sacred vessel. Like without it, we can't have this physical experience and bring more light here. So it's also a very essential part of this of living our purpose, sharing our gifts, and we need to give it like more importance on a daily basis.
You are
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Wonderful. And also you mentioned because like the chakra systems, they are related both to the physical and also the emotional. And like from your perspective, how the emotions affect like the chakra system, what happens when we feel, for example, dense emotions, or in the other hand, if we feel joyful or maybe excited, what happens on the energetic level?
Yeah, well, energy is always flowing, or it's stopped, when we get trauma in a certain part of our body. We've heard about people that experience an extreme grief and, they have heart attacks or they have heart issues. It can cause a blockage in our energy system. And if the energy isn't flowing, emotionally we feel worse, physically we will gain physical symptoms. If there's trauma in an area, emotionally we can feel that our stomach, our digestive tract, is related to that third chakra, our control, and we can feel out of control, a lack of control, or maybe over controlling if it's overactive. It really does inform how we're feeling. And again, we can tap into what our body is feeling and emotionally how we're feeling to see, okay, maybe I'm a little out of balance there. How do I bring that into balance? It really is empowering to learn about the chakra system because it's like our communication system with our bodies. And yeah, when we're feeling, elated, it could maybe open up our chakras a little more, in different areas. Love, definitely joy is healing to the chakras. There are colors related to each chakras. If we're eating foods relating to that, that will bring them into balance. If we're playing, I call it playing, but if we're using crystals that are those colors, that can help bring them into balance. There's so many things that we can do to bring them into balance, but we're just not taught this stuff. So it is really empowering to learn about them, and they just start to seem to make sense when you learn about them and what body parts they relate to.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And also maybe because many times we feel some urgency to see the results or the change very quickly. I think also it can be very helpful if we give time for that, because we need, especially if we don't have a practice of we are not used to take care of our body. Give some time for ourselves to practice more until it becomes more natural. And at some point, we will start feeling the shift happening. What do you think about that?
I think it's really important to be mindful and say you've been beating yourself about something for 20 years. It's not going to take 20 years to correct that or to bring you into balance, but it is going to take a little time and energy, to direct it repeatedly. So, say you always have headaches, and you tend to be a person that says like, I'm so stupid, when you do something, and that's really in your subconscious. And, you're thinking that you're part of you is saying that you're stupid, it might take a little while to say things to catch yourself, honestly, because so many things we say are just on auto, they're auto programmed from when we were little, from relationships we've been in. So it might take a little time to catch yourself, to be like, hey, wait, I don't think I'm stupid. Yeah, maybe I could have been more aware when I did that thing or said that thing, but that's okay. You know, we're human, we make mistakes. It really is about that self-compassion and self-love too. That is really important through all of the chakras. We've all been through stuff. If you're living through this time, you've been through an extra amount of stuff, you know, so really like having that compassion for yourself and knowing we all are doing the best we can. We've all done the best we can from our state of consciousness. Like, and the only thing we can do is learn and continue to improve how we speak to ourselves. And our mindfulness really can begin to heal all aspects of our life. You know, heart is a really important one because that is self-love in all our relationships. So if we don't believe we are worthy, we are going to attract relationships that kind of reflect that to us. So we really need to be kind to ourselves and heal that heart chakra and have an open heart and not let it shut us down. But you know what, if we've had challenging relationships or challenging parents or a teacher that, you know, made us feel like we weren't good enough, that could really affect that heart chakra and shut it down, which, you know, emotionally can cause a really hard time connecting with people or trusting people. It can also cause, you know, just really hard time in being in relationship with someone. It can also cause like heart and lung issues. So it is really important to use the chakras to recognize, hey, okay, I've had these chronic leg issues. What is that related to? I've had these chronic stomach issues. What is that related to? And just be kind and compassionate. This isn't about judging yourself. This is really about being kind and compassionate for what you've been through. And how can you bring that a little more into balance? How can you begin to heal yourself and speak kinder to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, that's very essential. Like improving the relationship with ourselves first and how we talk to ourselves. It's what to say, like it really can affect our life, like all areas of our life. It's like you mentioned, it's about self-love, and I think we talked about that in another call. It's like the most important aspects of of all, and yeah. So thank you for that. And would you like to share something before we move to the group process, or do we do the process now?
Yeah, I mean, if you like, I could just go through the chakras real quickly before we
Yes.
do the exercise, so people just have
Yeah.
a general idea.
All
The
right.
first chakra is at the root of our spine, that's red. And so the root chakra is really about like our relationship with the planet, as well as like it's the first one. So it's really, what messages did you get from your parents? Did you feel safe? Did you not feel safe? You know, do you feel safe on this planet now? So if that is out of balance, it can cause issues with the legs. It's honestly like you feel not safe walking on this planet. So again, I'm going to explain it in a way where they kind of make sense, you know, so you remember them a little easier. The second one is the orange one. It's the sacral chakra. It is a little below your belly button. And that is all about how we see ourselves as a man and a woman. It's about our past sexual relationships. It's about how we start creating. So, you know, that creative process of having a baby, but just that creative process in general. And if that's out of balance, we could have bad, you know, cramps. I saw someone wrote about that. I could talk about that a little more. We could have infertility issues. You know, there could be issues with the prostate. So, you know, really important to address that. That is also the root of abundance, because it's really like that feeling comfortable in our skin as a man and a woman, and that ability to create that abundance starts there. The third chakra is our solar plexus. So it's below our heart, above our belly button, kind of at the solar plexus, and it is yellow. And that is the kind of the seat of our personal power. So that is really about like, do we feel in control of our lives? Do we not feel in control of our lives? Do we maybe try to over control other people? If this is out of balance, we can have trouble with digestion. It's like we can't digest the world. We can't digest the way that things are happening to us. So we try to control it. Fourth chakra. And so those are the lower chakras. The fourth chakra is at the heart. It's It's the heart chakra, and it's usually seen as green, sometimes gold. And so you'll notice it's the colors of the rainbow going up. And it really is about love in general and relationships, but self-love is the basis of that. Because as I said before, if we don't love ourselves, we can't have healthy relationships with anyone, honestly. We really will attract things that are out of balance for us. So it really is loving ourselves. If that is out of balance, we can have heart issues, we can have lung issues. I've seen people with like dealing with a lot of grief or infidelity issues, you know, manifest like breast cancer and stuff. So it is really important to heal those heart issues. So the heart is kind of the median between the upper and lower chakras where they all combine. The next going up is the throat chakra. At the throat is this blue. It's our communication. It's our authenticity. Are we speaking our truth? Are we able to speak our truth? Do we know what our truth is even? Because a lot of times that's blurry too. And how we create, how are we putting ourselves out there in the world? Are we comfortable speaking? Are we comfortable listening? And then going up is our third eye chakra. That's kind of the one that's most thought of. That's our intuition. It's a little between our eyebrows, a little above. It's indigo. And that is our intuition. And that's also all our psychic gifts. So not just clairvoyance that we think of the psychic sight, but clairaudience, how maybe you have clear hearing, you hear things, you know, and you're like, you get your wisdom that way. Maybe it's claircognizance, you know things. Maybe it's clairsentient, you sense things. So we're not all strong in all of these, but we all do have these psychic abilities. And that sixth sense, you know, comes through our sixth chakra, and really being able to tune in and get quiet is kind of allowing that in. If that's out of balance, we can get headaches. Just kind of, you know, makes sense. We're out of balance. I always look at it too as how we're seeing the truth of the outer world and how we're seeing the truth of our inner world. Are we seeing ourselves clearly? Are we seeing the outer world clearly? This is a really important one now, especially with AI and stuff coming in, like really being able to tap into our intuition and knowing what's real. The last one is violet, seen as violet or white, and it's at the crown. And that is our connection to everything. It is really important for the presence. It's connection to everything, you know, on the planet. And I love that there are foods to balance all of these, but with the seventh, the crown chakra, it's really about, are you being present when you're eating? Are you appreciating the food? I know, you know, in America, we're known for just like shoveling food in and running between things, but are you present? Are you thankful for the food? Are you, you know, really receiving that? And again, that can cause like headaches and dizziness and all kinds of things that are off balance, and that feeling of disconnection from other people, from the planet, if that's not in balance. So that's the quick summary. I just wanted to kind of go through them before I went through the exercise to give you a little bit of just a little outline of it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny. And yeah, so I think we can start the process.
Awesome. So I'd like everyone to just sit, or if you want to lay down, you can do that. And just take a couple of slow breaths to center yourself. Just bring yourself really to the present moment. Close your eyes. It'll help you go a little deeper, and just settle into wherever you're sitting or lying down. And first, we're going to start with some box breathing. Box breathing is what they teach Navy SEALs. It is a breathing count of breathing into 4, holding for 4, out for 4, and holding for 4. And it really can bring you some easy peace. I'm going to lead the count, but if you feel like you need to breathe slower or quicker for your own comfort, please feel free to do so. First, I'm going to ask that you exhale out any air in your lungs. And then we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Again, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Last time, in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, exhaling out, 2, 3, 4, and holding, 2, 3, 4. Now just notice if you're feeling a little more relaxed and just kind of sink further into your chair or wherever you are. Please place one hand or both hands on your heart if that's comfortable for you and settle more into this space. And as your hand or hands are on your heart, just give thanks to yourself for taking this time to honor your energetic body and to tune in. We're going to intend that all of your chakras get to feel loved during our time together and that you feel energetically balanced. However you picture this is perfect through the exercise. Please don't get hung up if you feel like you don't see something. If you see, some people see lights and colors, some people see like wisps, some people can't see it, but they can just feel the energy. Just know that your intention is making this so. So however you can sense or picture this is really perfect for you. This energy is going to be working its way up your body. And as it works its way up your chakra system, we're going to picture and intend a color at each. We're going to say an affirmation for that chakra, and then we're going to transmute that color back to white before moving it up to the next chakra. So with your hand or hands on your heart, I would like you to bring to mind reasons that you love Mother Earth. Maybe it's the grass and flowers, could be the mountains, the trees, the oceans or rivers, maybe the animals. Maybe it's a certain place in nature that comes to mind and brings you a sense of peace. I want you to feel that love in your heart for Mother Earth as you start to imagine a ball of light and energy that is holding this love that you're offering. It's opening on the planet. I'd like you to picture that ball of energy and light below you, in the ground of Mother Earth. You picture it as a ball of energy or light, however you picture it is perfect. And you see this ball slowly beginning to work its way up from the ground to your feet. And it surrounds your feet. Take a moment to feel the energy relaxing your feet, bringing in a sense of warmth and peace. And now the white light works its way up your calves, to your knees, to your thighs, through your hips. And you feel all of those parts of you relax. And you feel your legs and hips bathed in this white light and energy, which feels warm, supportive, and calming. This white energy continues up and stops at the base of your spine, at your root first chakra, where it glows red. As you see your picture glowing red, affirm to yourself, you can do this out loud or in your mind, the following affirmation. I'm protected and secure and have total faith that the universe is constantly providing for me. I'm going to repeat that again. I am protected and secure and have total faith that the universe is constantly providing for me. Please breathe this statement into your heart as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling that this is your reality. One more time, breathing that affirmation in as truth and exhaling out any resistance. Now picture that light turning back to white and glowing and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move. And now that light begins to travel again, and it travels to your second sacral chakra, which is just below your belly button, and it glows orange. See your second sacral chakra glowing orange as you repeat the following affirmation to yourself or out loud. I am happy, secure in my physical body, passionate and abundant. We're going to repeat that again. I am happy, secure in my physical body, passionate and abundant. Breathe the statement into your heart as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling this is your reality. One more time, breathing that in and exhaling out any resistance. You're going to picture that light turning back to white, glowing, and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move. And now that light begins to travel again. It's traveling to your third solar plexus chakra, which is below your heart in your upper abdominal area, and see that area glowing yellow as you repeat the following affirmation out loud or to yourself. I am unlimited. I am positively empowered and am successful in all my ventures. I'm going to say that again. I am unlimited. I am positively empowered and am successful in all of my ventures. Please breathe the statement into your heart as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling this is your reality. One more time, breathing it in and exhaling out any resistance. See that light turning back to white, glowing, and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move again. And now that light begins to travel up to your heart, your fourth chakra, which is usually seen as green, but sometimes it's seen as gold. However you see it is perfect. Your fourth chakra is glowing green or gold as you repeat the following affirmation. I'm giving and receiving love unconditionally and effortlessly. I'm giving and receiving love unconditionally and effortlessly. Breathe that statement into your heart as truth. And exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling this is your reality. One more time, breathing it in. And exhaling out any resistance. I'm going to take this time to notice that this light has traveled through all of your lower chakras, and now your whole lower body and all the way up to your heart is feeling calm and very relaxed. I'd like you to take a breath here, thanking yourself for taking this time as you will continue to balance your upper chakras. Exhale out any resistance or any remaining stress. And see that light turn back to white, glowing, and setting that affirmation and all your affirmations for your lower chakras deeper in your heart before it begins to move, and the light travels again. Now it travels up from your heart and chest to your throat, the fifth chakra, which is blue. Please see the chakra glowing blue and feel a warm glow in your throat as you repeat the following affirmation. I am expressing myself truthfully and clearly as I receive and hear other people's truths. And I repeat that again. I'm expressing myself truthfully and clearly as I receive and hear other people's truths. Breathe that statement into your heart as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling this is your reality. One more time, breathing that into your heart and exhaling out any resistance. See that light turning back to white, glowing, and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move. And now that light begins to travel again. It's traveling up through your chin, the lower back of your scalp, through your nose and cheeks and ears, through your eyes, the back of your head, as it settles in your sixth, third eye chakra, which is between your eyebrows, a little above, and it glows indigo. As you picture your sixth chakra glowing indigo, please repeat the following affirmation out loud or to yourself. I'm connected to my intuition and I'm constantly receiving guidance. I'm connected to my intuition and I'm constantly receiving guidance. Breathe the statement into your heart as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling that this is your reality. One more time, breathing it in and exhaling out any resistance. See that light turning back to white, glowing, and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move. Now that light begins to travel again. It travels up your forehead, up the top of the back of your head, and it travels to the very tippy top of your head, your crown chakra, your seventh chakra, and it glows violet or white. However you picture it is perfect. You picture it glowing as you say the following affirmation. I am present and connected to the wisdom the universe always provides. I am present and connected to the wisdom the universe always provides. Breathe that in as truth and exhale out anything that might be stopping you from feeling this is your reality. One more time, breathing it in and exhaling out any resistance. See that light glowing a bright white and setting your affirmation firmly in the chakra before it begins to move for a final time. The white light is now being sent up to the skies as it leaves your crown. You could see it leaving your city, your state, your country. You could see it going out to the world. All this love generated by Mother Earth and through your body, through each of the chakras, is being sent out to the world, and it's also being reflected back into yourself. Feel that love. Allow that love into your heart. Know that you've just tapped into the power of your chakras and what their true meanings and purposes are. This is your inner diagnostic system that is always here for you. Express gratitude to the universe and to yourself for providing this service. Take a deep breath in, feeling the peace and love inside you that each affirmation granted. And exhale out with relief, the feeling of peace that you feel. Thank yourself again for taking this time. Start to feel your body again, the location you're in, and slowly bring yourself back to the room. And when you're ready, you take a couple breaths and open your eyes.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very, very grounding, very relaxing at the same time. Yeah, so thank you very much. And
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, so also everyone would love to hear your feedback about your experience. And we will start taking questions in a couple of minutes. Linda Sherrod, that was much needed and awesome. Many thanks. So yeah, so Jenny, I would love to, if we can take maybe a few minutes to talk about the program you are offering, and then we start taking questions. And I invite everyone to visit the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, JENNY. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live event page, later on the replay page. The link also is on YouTube video description and the chat boxes. And so we have three packages. The first one is a life path focus reading. Package B, it's Akashic property remote clearing. And package C is 60 minutes one-on-one mentoring and energy healing session with Jenny. So I would love if you can tell us about these three packages and what our audience can expect from working with you.
Sure. Sure. The life path
Thank
focus reading is where you tell me one challenge that has been going on in your life, and I will tune in to the Akashic records. I'll find out your primary life lesson. I usually give a little bit of a soul profile and also ask what are the blocks and restrictions that are surrounding this issue, and give you lots of tools to move through that. And I give usually a 10-minute or longer recording, as well as an email filled with tools to move past that. And yeah, clients have found this very useful, especially if it's like a recurring issue in their life that they just need a little guidance on. Our primary life lesson is something that we do sign up for, and it's really to experience every aspect of it in our life. So learning about it can just grant us some peace and be like, oh, that's why I've learned that lesson over and over again, and really grant us some peace, as well as the soul profile that comes with that just kind of grants us some peace and recognition of who we are at soul level. The property clearing is great if for kind of anything, any property that we've lived in, especially, during these last couple of years, if we've been stuck inside, we might have sent not such great energy to our property. We might have been, bummed that we were inside. Also, energy that with things going wrong in the property, or if someone is depressed in the property or sick, energy really seeps into a structure. Sometimes I found, especially in upstate New York, there are properties actually built on burial grounds. That is really not okay. If clearing work isn't done, if people have lived in the house before you and weren't very happy, that energy kind of sticks. So the property clearing clears that energy. And I also ask for 6 to 9 qualities that you want imbued in that property. So things like abundance, love, health. People feel a visceral change in this very quickly. So I love these clearings. The last is an hour with me. How that usually goes is the first half hour we'll talk, we'll do some mentoring, any tools. I'm very generous, love to help with tools. We'll email you after with tools as well. And then a half an hour for you to just lay back and receive energy. I love sending energy, and I know that a lot of people have trouble receiving. A lot easier to give to people. So it is really my joy and pleasure to be able to facilitate an energy healing session based on whatever we talked about in that first half hour. So I think that is it. That's it.
you. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jenny, for being available to our audience and for your supports in the 3 sessions or reading that you are offering. And yeah, I feel like whether from the coaching and healing session through the life path reading, I feel it can be very helpful to know the issue, because many times, how to say, many patterns are repeating even in the background, and we are not aware of that until it comes to our awareness. Sometimes it's through experience, sometimes from another one who can guide us through that. And I think through the reading can really help with that. And once we have the awareness and then the guidance to go through that, it can really help to to go beyond that. And thank you also for the remote property clearing as well. And so grateful to you. Thank you. And everyone, again, you can sign up for one of the packages on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, JENNY. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link is on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes. So Linda asking about what type of questions. Yeah, what type of questions?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
I mean, things related to the chakras today. I think that's what our focus is.
Yeah. Wonderful. So yeah, Linda, you're unmuted.
Hi. Thank you so much. That was just lovely. I really enjoyed it very much. My question is, I keep signing up for these things that are costing me so much stress as far as like paperwork and stuff is concerned, and trying to take care of. Right now I'm working with an elderly gentleman, and I signed up for POA and all that other stuff. And I don't know what I'm trying to do to myself, but if you have any insights, I'd sure like to hear it.
Yeah, well, I kind of Was touching on that before. It's much easier for us to give than to receive. And a lot of times it's like we're seeking that outward validation, or, we know, especially during this time, we know how much people are suffering. So we want to give, give, and give. But, we do all know that quote on the airplane, like, you have to put on your life mask first before you put it on someone else. We are the only ones that can really start paying attention to where we are expending our energy and making sure we're filling it up too, so being able to say no and set boundaries, that is something with heart chakra. I know heart chakra is not all about love and rainbows. It really is about setting healthy boundaries and knowing how much energy we have to give. And, whether that's taking, time throughout the day. I'm big on mindfulness exercises in the shower. If you have no other time, you can do mindfulness exercises in the shower. Just really giving yourself that love, that your love and permission to say no. Honestly, the permission to say no, the permission to start paying attention to how you're expending your energy. And we can't give from an empty cup. Like, all these sayings come to mind. I mean, it really is about filling our energy. So we're giving with love. We're giving with 100% unconditional love. There's no resentment coming in. There's no, oh, I have to do this sense of obligation coming in. We really want to be giving from that 100% love place. And we know the difference when someone's giving to us from a sense of obligation or a sense of that unconditional love. So we want to offer that to them as well. So sometimes it's easier to think of it like that. Okay, well, I want to give from a fulfilled place, so I need to take care of myself. I know, I was overgiving for a long time. That was a tough one for me. So, for me, it was getting up earlier and meditating a couple of hours, or, making that time for myself, meditating and doing some spiritual work and writing in the morning was my time before people started to call and email me. That was my time. Like, how can you take time for yourself where you're really tuning in and asking what you are able to do and what you can say no to and what you might have to delegate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Wonderful.
And
Thank
loving
you.
yourself, because that's a beautiful thing that you love to give to people, I mean, honoring that gift that you have, but knowing that you can give a lot more too if you are feeding yourself first.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Jenny. I really love the message. I feel it's a message for all of us, because like self-love, it's really, we all relate to that in some way. So thank you. And first, before a question, there is a feedback from Manisha. Thank you, Jenny, for this powerful process. I released a lot of negative emotions. I started yawning a lot of tears too from the top chakras. Thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Monsef, for this important call. Thank you, Manisha. And Caroline, she wrote, do you have any wisdom for monthly cramps or for menopause symptoms?
Yeah, I relate to those. So there's so that is a lot of second chakra related. So a lot of work around being a woman is, and the gratitude for being a woman. Again, a lot of times we go to, oh, this sucks. This is like painful. This is, why am I going through this? And that's not helpful for creating that healing energy. So, to put your hands on your second chakra, send yourself love. Think about all the ways that you love to be a woman, what being a woman means to you, how women are able to give birth, how, we do tap into our intuition, how, giving thanks for your creativity, any relationship, intimate relationship that you've had that might need a little forgiveness or love, please send that to yourself. We learn from our past experiences and hopefully we get wiser, and make better decisions as we go along, but really sending a lot of love to yourself and starting to picture, because a lot of things too, we expect pain. Like, so with cramps, we'd expect the pain every month. Start picturing, what if next month I don't have any pain? What would that look like for you? What would that feel like for you? The more we're allowing in these other possibilities, the more it can be our reality, instead of us saying it has to be this way. So yeah, hope those are a couple little tools that would help. I also sometimes have my clients write a love letter, to themselves about why are you happy to be a woman? Write a love letter to that second chakra. What does it mean to be a woman to you? And what are all the wonderful things about being a woman? And read it a couple of times and feel that love.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you, Caroline, for a question. And
can I ask another question with that, Monsa?
Because we have, maybe in the end, if we have time, because we have many others who want to ask.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Karen, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you, Monsa. Thank you, Jenny. That was beautiful. And my question today is, I'm in this mentorship training program to improve my teaching skills and ability to reach audiences. And I just had the opportunity to watch my videos, like we keep practicing on video, for the last two months or 3 months. And I actually went from being me, really happy and, cheerful, and then trying to incorporate these techniques. And then I saw myself like diminishing myself as the time progressed. So I'm wondering what chakras are being affected, because I love this mentor and that's why I signed up with her. And I realized that, that there's something going on when I saw myself.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people do have to get over, hearing themselves for the first time, seeing themselves for the first time. It is a little adjustment, and it is really that self-love, like focusing on the message that you're sending. Like, I know I was very uncomfortable at first speaking in front of people, but then I tapped into, you're mentoring people, tap into that love of what you're sharing. And that is what comes through. That is what people feel, that you're being authentic. I know, in this day and age, we tend to look too hardly at ourselves, but I guarantee no one is looking at you the way you're looking at yourself, like really giving yourself that love. And even if there's one thing like that you can focus on that you love about yourself, really tapping into that and repeating it over and over again, and know you're making a difference. Again, no one is as critical as you are to yourself. So knowing that, giving yourself a break, knowing that you are going to be helping so many people and your light is needed right now. I feel like that can guide you. And gratitude for self is really important. Writing down the things that you're grateful for yourself for, and maybe tapping into that before you go on video, so you're feeling that love, you're feeling that light. And that will come across so clearly. And, I've heard actors say they can't watch themselves in movies, so there is something with that too. Do you have to watch every single video all the way through? Like, if it makes you very uncomfortable, like it is, I know sometimes it makes me uncomfortable too, but just the more you're compassionate with yourself and know that this is your message you're giving, and no one's as hard on you as you are, and really come from that state of gratitude and self-love, the more you're just going to get more comfortable. And the more you're comfortable with your message, the more you're just going to get more and more comfortable. And people are going to see that authenticity, and that's really all they're going to see and feel.
Yeah, I started out really being myself and authentic and then I saw myself diminish as I went through this training program, that I was no longer being myself. I was trying to incorporate her teachings and so forth. And I was less and less being authentic and myself.
So I guess I would stick with that. And how can you merge the two? How can you make the material yours? And that might take a little bit, but the most important thing is being authentic. If the material doesn't resonate with you, that's something else. But how can you make the material yours and say it in a way? Because I know most teachers do not want you to just, regurgitate exactly the same. They want you to make it yours. But sometimes there's that little wiggle room into figuring out what that looks like. But you being authentic is the most important thing, and just figuring it out, and being kind to yourself in the process and compassionate as you figure it out.
All right. Thank you very much, Jenny. I really appreciate this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Jenny. Let's see. Joshua, Can you check my throat chakra? Have been moving through pain in my neck most of my life and curious what neck pain is pointing to and what tools are helpful.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, I don't know, like cloudy to me in a way. I mean, throat chakra is so multifaceted. You know, I would ask yourself, is there something in your life you are not totally expressing yourself with? Is there a person, you know, in the past that you haven't been able to express yourself to? One of the clearing exercises I would recommend is writing letters to these people that maybe you feel you haven't been able to express yourself to, and speak your truth. You know, in the letters, it's always a great way to speak your truth. You don't have to hand it to them, you know, write the letter, burn it, release that. Whatever you've been holding in, I just feel like there really needs to be some kind of release. And with that comes more creativity, also tapping into how do you create, however you create, even if it's like singing in the shower, you know, that is really helpful for the fifth chakra. Ways to nurture the fifth chakra is like singing, writing, any way of creative expression can really bring that into balance.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny. And thank you, Joshua, for your question. Manisha, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Monse. Jenny, I'd love some help with my sacral chakra. I have sort of stored a lot of anger in my liver, so I don't have a spleen and I don't have a large intestine as well. And what I have a pouch that's from a small intestine. But what happens is I get a lot of blockages, again related to my emotions, so stress there and in my heart as well. I'd love some sort of affirmations or clearing that I could do with the sacral, please. Thank you.
There is, you know, it's really that deep compassion for yourself too. I feel like there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of stuff from the past that's stored there. So there are so many like different forgiveness exercises. I'm a big one on Ho'oponopono. Do you know the divine prayer?
Yes.
That's a beautiful prayer for releasing, you know, putting your hands on your second chakra as you're saying that, you know, I love you, and saying it to your second chakra. I love you. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry it's been hard to get through, you know, this forgiveness. I'm sorry I'm storing stuff there. You know, please forgive me. Thank you. It really does help release, as well as I do feel like writing, again, creativity is really important. Writing a letter to yourself, writing a letter to people that maybe it's been a little hard to forgive, you know, really releasing, because we know that hurt people hurt people. The people that have hurt us, they weren't happy, well-adjusted people at the time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have hurt us. You know, they come from their wounded space. So, but the more we hold on to that, the more we're not allowing ourselves to move forward, and we're punishing ourselves, and guaranteed you've punished yourself enough, you know? I mean, so it really is about giving yourself permission to move forward. Anything with the heart too is going to be really important, because that self-love needs to go so deep to heal those other chakras. You know, loving, a gratitude exercise in the shower, saying, what are you grateful for yourself for? You know, what do you love about yourself? You know, I can already feel you're a very kind, loving person. That, you know, living through this time and still being a kind, loving person, that's something to be very, very proud of. Like loving that about yourself, giving yourself credit that you still do have an open heart, you still do care. So anything, gratitude, Ho'oponopono, sending love to your second chakra, because I know, especially if, you know, if there's been wounding there, there's been scars there, there's been surgeries there, really sending a lot of love, and, you know, picturing it healing, picturing healthy cells. I had a shaman friend that used to say, the sillier you can get with this exercise, the better. Like if you can, he'd imagine like little Smurfs walking in, you know, like healing the area, like little men, little elves, like healing that area and just smiling. Like the more we can become childlike and silly, because we're so serious as humans, you know, we get so caught up in our heads. Like, how can you bring that in, that childlikeness back in, you know, whether that's an activity that you love, you know, another thing for the heart is joy. What brings you joy? because anything that brings you joy will connect you to that heart and the feeling like everything's okay. When we're experiencing joy, doing something we love, dancing around the living room, you know, singing our favorite song, like that really is healing to us.
Thank you so much, Jenny. So much wisdom that you've shared with everyone that I'd love to take on board in the whole call today. And thank you, Monse, once again.
Thank you.
Thank you,
For this
Manisha.
amazing call. Thank
So
you.
nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha, and thank you very much, Jenny. Let's see. Question from Kate. I've had jobs that pay well that were awful, and jobs I loved that didn't pay anything. Would that be the sacred chakra as well? What are some tools for getting paid for what you love?
Yes. So I recommend this exercise of writing down my career is, or my job is. My job or my career allows me to work this many hours a day. My career allows me to make this much money. My career allows me to, and write down your best qualities. My career allows me to interact with people. My career allows me to, because there's a lot of limiting beliefs that we have stored, like work is tough, you know, like we don't know what's stored there. We really want to set the intention for, yes, we can have everything. So to look at that list, what brings you happiness, and to know you do deserve everything on that list. Go to that list, like type it up on your computer so you can kind of go back to it, write things, maybe edit things a little bit. But it really allows that energy to open and you to know, yeah, you know, I deserve all of this. And go to those jobs that you loved. What was it about those jobs that you loved? Write down those things. Plus write down, you know, whatever the most salary was, you, and double it, you know, triple it, whatever it is. Like really, it's our limiting beliefs that get in the way of what we can manifest. But if we can really sink into, you know, heck yeah, I deserve this, you know, the more we are like calling that to us. And I found those affirmation lists. I mean, I feel like I attracted the love of my life that way. It was 2 pages, single spaced, you know, it was a big ask. I got everything on the list. We attracted the house that way. It was 90% of everything on the list. Like really knowing that you deserve everything that you want. And, you know, maybe looking to whatever limiting beliefs you have, like even writing that down. Like in the past, I've had jobs that I love that don't pay, you know, I've had jobs that don't pay well, you know, or that do pay well that I don't like writing that down and burning it. That's a limiting belief. Like just writing it down, that's the past. And yeah, that should help to switch that energy around and move you forward.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Kate, for your question, and thank you, Jenny, for the guidance. Janet, she wrote, love that list idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have, let's see, Vivian. Dear friend, I felt pain in my lower back during the chakra meditation. Can you see why, please? And when you ask about life lesson, I received the word structure. Yeah, it's another question included. My left ear makes noise. Please help me hear the message.
So if you're hearing sounds in your ear, like that can be almost like a clairaudience and a tuning. You can actually ask to hear clear. It's almost like setting a radio dial. You can ask to hear clearer. If you heard structure, I would believe that it's structure. And it's interesting that you said is this the lower back too and stuff?
Yes, lower back.
So it's interesting that you say structure, because that is like the base of the spine and, you know, where the structure is formed. So, you know, there might have been a little release there at the time. And, you know, just knowing that you're going to, if you pick structure as your life lesson, you're going to experience every lesson with that. You're going to experience relationships, jobs where there felt like there was no structure. You're going to feel, you know, in your life sometimes like there is no structure. You might feel like this urge, like, how do I get structure, you know, or the need to like overcompensate and be really structured. For that is more the root chakra. So affirmations that affirm that you are safe, things that ground you. Walks are really good as long as they're not super painful. Qigong, even breathing exercises where you're just standing or sitting with your feet on the ground, breathing in, breathing kind of love into your back where it hurts and settling it there, putting your hands like on your stomach, kind of where it reflects the back, and sending love to your lower back. All of those things can help. There's certain yoga poses for your lower back that will help. Stretching, again, if it's not so painful, stretching can really help your lower back. And those affirmations that say, like, I am safe. It is safe walking on this planet at this time. Anything that really affirms the safety would also help.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you, Vivian, for your question. Kate wrote, thank you for the answer you gave her.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, and and I love the questions that came in, and also your answers, because it's like it shows that every maybe issue that we are experiencing, whether emotional or physical, there is a message behind it. And when we go deeper to see through that and try to understand the limiting beliefs that we have, it really can help to shift that over time, and also maybe take us toward different direction, or a path that is serving us more. So just wanted to say that. And
yeah, absolutely, Montef. It is that asking ourselves. I mean, we do, our higher self, our soul always knows the answer. It's just we're usually too busy in our head to into our bodies and our higher self and ask. But when we get real quiet, that's why I do recommend like the shower as that time. Like, most people don't have anything else going on during the shower, their mind's in a million places. Like, take that time and ask yourself, how are you doing? Is there any part of your body that needs a little extra love and attention? Like, really taking that time for yourself. If you can set an alarm during the day to just check in with yourself. How am I feeling? And starting to notice, I mean, mindfulness is key. Really starting to notice how you're speaking to yourself, because it does begin with that self-love and self-compassion, and just knowing we've all been through it. If you can love yourself, give yourself permission to say no, that came up before, give yourself permission to take time to yourself, to really tune in. Don't overbook yourself. Don't overstimulate yourself. Just really take that time to tune in and be quiet. Nature is healing. Nature is another place to always get those answers. Go sit on a rock and ask yourself some questions, or a bench, really just tuning in, turning off the phone, turning off the electronics for a little while, and really tuning into yourself. You might be surprised at how much wisdom does come to the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. And Vivian Sherrod, thank you. I appreciate you helping me understand my body's message.
Beautiful. You're so
welcome. Thank you, Vivian. And so Jenny, do you have maybe any last message before we end the call?
Yeah, just to reiterate, really be kind to yourself. We've all been through it, check in on other people. I know we all tend to do that, but it's really about making sure that your cup is filled before you do that. Like, how can you take time, even 5-10 minutes a day, to really nurture yourself? That's doing something you love. Joy. I have another thing I do is have people write a joy list. What are 10 things that bring you joy? It can be cuddling with a pet, making a nice cup of tea. Do one of those things a day for yourself. It shows that you love yourself. And that really is a catalyst for some of that self-healing as well. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jenny, for the message. And for everything you shared today. It was really inspiring. I loved every part of it, the first discussion, the process, and also I really loved the support you brought to our live callers. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Wonderful. And Deepa, thank you. And so everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, for co-creating with us this wonderful experience. So thank you to each and every one of you, whether you joined live or if you will be watching or listening to the replay. And again, you can sign up to
one of the Jenny's packages, or maybe multiple, on the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Jenny, JENNY. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link is also on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And the first package is a life path focus reading. It's a one-on-one reading. And package B is Akashic property remote clearing. And package C is a 60-minute mentoring and energy healing private session. And yeah, so with that, everyone, let's move to first feedback. Manisha, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Monsef. Amazing call. Thank you, Jenny, for the insights and advice. Yeah, thank you, Manisha.
So grateful.
Yeah. And yeah, so with that, everyone, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.